Hi, so my name is Paula Rodriguez, and today my chemistry project is going to be on this gas technology that was developed to help clear the air from viruses in public areas. And I did a lot of research for this project, and I actually think that this is a very interesting topic because it does have a lot to do with what we're seeing today in the world. So first I'm going to be talking a little bit about outbreaks, and the first thing I have to say is that outbreaks are different levels of dangerous and they can occur at any moment in time. So, airborne diseases are developed, and what happens is that they're very easy to catch. And while some of them are curable and can pass in a few days, others could be life threatening or make it worse for people who already have lung diseases and other like asthma, stuff like that. So, over time, as population grows, the demand for public health concerns also goes up. And although technology has done a good job in other fields, it actually hasn't had much success in helping clear the air for the people to be able to walk around in public and be able to breathe without trying to, prevent catching a virus. So, because of this, the air may be contaminated with these alarming germs known as airborne pathogens, and this is like bacteria and viruses. And in the past, the world has already dealt with measles, chickenpox, influenza, and these are all things that in the past were easily caught through touching, sneezing, coughing, etc. And this is actually very concerning because if more diseases like these develop, it does attack us, and there's not much that science has done to be able to prevent these kinds of things. Okay, so continuing, I'm going to be talking about some developments that were tried to be made before the main one that I'm going to be talking about, and this involves um this invention that was tried to be created to control natural airborne diseases, and it was called the UVGI, which basically stands for ultraviolet germicidal irradiation. And it was invented to help disinfect the air through ultraviolet lights. So what it did was it would kill the microorganisms DNA, and it would prevent it from reproducing inside of the human body. And this was really good until they figured that it did have a lot of limitations, and this is because ultraviolet lights may be a risk inside of the human body, and it actually specifically targeted the human eyes and the skin. So here I did put images of what the invention looked like so that you can kind of get an idea, but it did involve a risk, which is why, it wasn't the invention that we use today. So, the other one is air filtrations, and this was effective mostly, or is effective still, mostly in hospitals. And it's because it creates this filtration where the particles can't get through. But of course, particles may be tinier than the filtration itself, which causes, the virus to go through anyways. And because of this isn't the most effective way possible. Okay, so now we come to the development that my project is based on, and this was a method introduced by the University of Michigan. So they did a lot of research, and what they ended up coming up with was this non-thermal plasma reactor, which turned out to be 99% effective in killing germs. And because of this, it brought a little bit of hope that this could be the most effective method in clearing the air. So what it does is that it releases these charged energetic fragments of air molecules, and the molecules destroy the virus in less than a second. So this is actually really impressive, and when the pathogens in the air pass through the plasma, it reacts with unstable atoms, which are also known as the ozone. And not only does it kill the germs, but it actually helps with pollution as well, which is really good because the world has been dealing with pollution as much as it's been dealing with viruses. And because of this, we could be using this invention to solve two problems rather than one. And this is why it might be the key to solving these issues. Okay, so how it works is basically that it changes the proteins, nucleic acid, and lipids around in the microorganism, leaving them harmless and filtering the air in the most effective way possible. And what happens is that the plasma, also known as the ionized gas, is a mixed state of atom, molecules, ions, electrons, and radicals. And the plasma has two general states, the equilibrium and the non-equilibrium. And the reason that they call it the thermoplasma is because the equilibrium state indicates the temperature of electrons, ions, neutrals when they become the most equal, and the background gas is heated anywhere between 1,000 to 10,000 degrees Kelvin. And the non-thermal plasma is able to remove the toxic molecules in room temperature without taking up so much energy when it heats. So this is also actually really good. So now continuing just a bit more, The non-thermal plasma is produced in many different methods, and the one that is basically the main method is called the electron beam method. And in the electron beam method, the electrons are accelerated by this high voltage in a vacuum region, and before they're injected into the gas processing chamber, they go through like this little thin window, and this energy is specifically what's used for ionization in the background gas. So over here I put a diagram where you can kind of see the electron beam like in depth of how it works, just so like you can picture it. And during the ionization, the electrons are generated and they produce this large amount of plasma that can actually be used to remove multiple types of like pollution. So it's also known as the NOx, the SOx, VOCs, etc. And very effective, gets rid of them. And there's a lot more examples, but I'm just naming a few right now. So here's the diagram, and that's basically more or less how the invention itself works and how the methods are put to use. Okay, so something interesting is that this invention was already put to use, and it shows that it's already working. So in farms, there was this airborne disease that was known to kill animals. So scientists thought, why not put this non-thermal plasma reactor to use and see how it works with the disease that's killing the animals. So basically what they did was that they did these lab tests, and they put the PRRSV, which was the disease that the pigs were getting, in the plasma reactor. And what ended up happening was that when it got exposed to these highly reactive fragments of air, the viruses were 95% inactivated and wiped. So this was amazing news for the researchers, because not only did they save the pigs, but they also got to see that their invention was really working. And they also helped the pork industry, because $650 million was what they were losing every single year due to the amount of pig losses that they had because of the airborne disease. So now what is happening is that because the invention worked, the only thing that can come up from this is that it's going to continue to be modified, improved for further use, and use in, public areas, and like what the invention was originally made for. Okay, so my opinion is that I think that this is very interesting, and I think that it'll be something that over time will become very beneficial. Obviously, we don't choose the air we breathe, so doing as much possible to keep the air clean as we can is something very important that future generations will need. So as much as it's harmless to humans, it does sterilize the air, and it protects areas in public transportation, in hospitals, and cruises, and it helps the environment also for animals, as I explained in the slide before. So this is how more or less it would be put to use. If all goes well, it is hopeful that it may replace the basic surgical mask that we do use every day, since we still are in the COVID stages. And this basically will assure that we can breathe clean air without the need of a surgical mask. And it does have a lot of positive long-term effects in medicine, because as well as just cleaning the air, it does decrease the amount of viruses that people catch. And because of this, there isn't a need to make a vaccine very often. But also it takes months and years for a vaccine to be developed, and because of this, like, we will need to put as much stress on medical fields, since we won't be catching viruses as much as like we would used to. So technology hasn't been able to fix this yet, but hopefully with this invention we are able to clean the air more. And I think that this would be the key. So next, the next couple of slides are just going to be my bibliography and a thank you. But yeah, this is basically my project. I hope that you enjoyed. I found this topic very interesting, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for listening.